everyone. Or hello, the one person that's watching at the moment. How are you all? Or how are you? Welcome to the procrastination workshop. I know you have all been dying to do this workshop, or you've been procrastinating, and I nearly procrastinated as well. I was going to put it off because I wasn't feeling well, but I decided not to procrastinate because that would be just awful, procrastinating over a procrastination workshop. But there you go. That's the way it is. So welcome, everyone. You are on right now. Hello, Amelia. Hello, Beck. Hello, Becca Lee. How are you? Oh, Beck, you're sick as well. I've had vertigo for a couple of days, so it hasn't been pleasant. And that's why I was going to put it off. But I just couldn't bear. I couldn't bear to do that. Hello, Jody. I'm going to be talking to you all today about procrastination and just how easy it is to do that. Hello, Lisa. Becca Lee. I know. Hello, Zena. Hello, all of you beautiful people. Oh, wait a minute. I'll just wait here. Anybody else that would like to come on? Oh, getting over pneumonia. Yuck. Oh, Becca, that's awful. Absolutely awful. Well, I'm just going to ruin your night then, Becca, aren't I? Because I'm just going to make things worse by talking about procrastination. If you suffer from procrastination, put your hand up and say, me too. Or at least send me a message, me too. It is, hello, Suzanne. Hello, gorgeous lady. If this is the first time you've been on one of these workshops, number one, thank you for being here. And number two, who am I? My name is Renata Daniel, and I am a trained counsellor. So I do have counsellor certifications or a diploma in counselling, which I got in about 2009 or some crazy year like that. I'm also a psychic medium and a paranormal investigator, but I am also a Reiki master, a tarot card professional, and a workshop leader for mostly women who I've worked with for over 20 odd years. And one of my big passions is sharing knowledge and allowing you to know more about yourself through giving you some knowledge and some opportunities to make the changes that you can make for yourself to make your life as best as it can be, considering what you have to work with. Yeah, so not everyone can get to the same destination by the same methods. Some of us need to walk, some of us crawl, some of us hire an Uber and go, just take me there. Good luck to those. But we can all kind of get to our destination. What are you laughing at, Anne? By the way, Anne's right here.
Hello. I'm eating dinner while working the mouse. She had to pick up a mouse to handle it because she didn't have one in front of her.
Oh, thank you. That's why you did you put it there or did I put it there?
You just put it there.
I feel absolutely naked without a mouse. So I've actually got the mouse from my laptop, which is off. But it's a security thing. It's a security blanket. So I need to stop doing that. Hello, Tara.
How good is the lighting, everyone, on Renata? That's so good.
Hello, Jenny Pearson. Hello, Cosmic Blue Avian, all the way from Melbourne. Welcome, welcome, everyone. We are not going to take too much longer with this introduction because given an opportunity, you will all go away because that's what procrastinators do. They will look at something for about 2 seconds and go, oh, no, too much for me to handle, and they'll go. So I want to start on this straight away. If you are watching this as a replay, please just add hashtag replay when you watch it. It will let me know how many people came on after the live event. And if you need to ask any questions, please do so in the comments right now. I'm going to ask Anne to show the first slide. So I've thought of another great excuse, and that's what our brain does when it procrastinates. We will spend a lot of time working out how we can't do anything or can't do something, which makes it a complete and total waste of time when we are doing that. All of us have life skills in procrastination. We have made it a lifetime occupation. And this is something that, number one, you have to realize that you do. And number two, you have to work out in your own fashion how you can stop yourself from doing it. There will always be opportunities and times when you will want to procrastinate, and we'll talk about why you want to procrastinate in a minute. But, you know, I'm sure all of you can sit there and work out for yourself ways that you have procrastinated in the past. If you have a specific method of how you do this, write it down in the comments. Share what your Achilles heel is when it comes to procrastination. What makes you do it? And if you say, I don't know why I do it, that's interesting too. So if you don't know why you procrastinate, put, I don't know why I procrastinate. If you know why you procrastinate, please give us a message on the comments of why you procrastinate. It will be interesting to see who here at the moment can give us an example of why. Do we get anything through, Anne?
No, because you've got the mouse.
Oh, okay. How do I do
go
that?
Go to the other page and tab at the top. Go to that tab.
That one?
No, don't close anything.
See, I don't know.
Right. See, it says StreamYard Studio. You click on that.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So Beck says, I don't know why. I think it may be all too overwhelming. Amelia says, I don't know why. Wait for deadline rush so I can do it. That could be a habit from school, Amelia, as well. You probably were someone who handed in all of your projects at the very last minute. Jenny says trauma triggers. Becca Lee, because I think I know how it's going to go, so I give up. Oh, Becca Lee. Who do we have here? Cosmic Blue Avian. Anxiety drives my procrastination. Yes, absolutely. I think we can all agree with what's coming up. Fear of the unknown and creates anxiety. That's Susan or Suzanne. Oh, there are so many easy ways to fix all of this. Core beliefs that I can't succeed. Oh, Louise. Yeah, I understand that one too. And some of those are the voices that you would have heard in your early years saying, why are you so stupid at doing that? Why can't you do this? It's so simple. Or why didn't you hand it in on time? What type of things are you doing to not do something that is plain and simple and put it in on time? So all of these things. Zena says, putting it all off because I know the outcome. Well, that's an interesting thing, knowing the outcome. That's two people that have said that. Well, that might be a particular topic that you're procrastinating on, and that's totally understandable. Anne's come in and is fixing things.
Go back up to you when you're ready, because I've got the comments here.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, thank you. All right. Oops, what do I do now? There. I have to learn StreamYard. And see, this would have been a major reason for me to procrastinate and do this, because I'm not perfect with this at all. Anne usually runs all of these slides, and she's sitting right here next to me, thank God, or I'd slap her. I've closed the door. You can't go anywhere. But you just have to get to a place where you're going to come through and do whatever you need to do, knowing that it's not going to be perfect. Yeah. And in actual fact, we're all just human. It's not always going to be perfect, but you still got to show up. So the outcomes of this small procrastination workshop are to understand more about why procrastination happens, and strategies to help you stop procrastinating, and what to do when all your hard work seems to fail. Now, please, 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 as we continue, please send me your questions. But first of all, what is procrastination? It's the action of delaying and postponing something. And it's usually, it may not always be the first thing you think about when you come to actually actively participating in some sort of a challenge, something that you're trying to do. First of all, your brain actually activates to give you a sense of how the thing is going to work. What are the steps that need to be taken? How much time is this going to involve? Do you have to look up something? Do you have to prepare? Do you have to have the money to do something? Now, at that point, that is when procrastination happens. So it's not that first minute or hour of thinking that a project needs to be done. It's when you get involved in the process of thinking about that project. So just kind of think about that for a moment, because that might clarify some things for you of when this actually starts to occur for you. And if it occurs immediately that a task is set, then that's a whole different ball game, because there is an active part of your mind that just says no change, no going off path, no going off course, no thinking about anything else, no taking on anything new. And that is something else that needs to sort of be dealt with. Normally, you do go through a process of thinking about what it is that you need to fulfill, whatever that task is, and then it becomes overwhelming because you've set yourself too many things to think about. Does that make sense to everyone? So Mark Twain once said, "Do not put off until tomorrow what can be put off till the day after tomorrow." And I choose procrastination as a way to avoid work and responsibilities. So that might also be something that rings true for some people. And again, we go back to these inner voices that we heard as younger people that may have said to us, "You're no good at that task. You will never be any good. Why have you done so badly?" And that can be a teacher thing as well. If you had a really horrible teacher, especially if they were nuns, who would scold you for not doing the right thing or delivering on the right day. I mean, I remember working up a huge sweat the night before I had to hand in anything because of the teachers that I had to deal with. So it may have been the same with you. And that over years actually creates a trauma response. And Jenny, you mentioned trauma, a trauma response that says, "I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to even try." At school, you had no choice. Now as an adult, you actually have choices that you can make. It's sad if you continually choose the no choice as opposed to the yes choice. So if you consciously are choosing to procrastinate, then you are probably not here listening to this, number one. If this is you, though, stop being a lazy git and get off the couch and put in some effort. No, I don't mean that. I just wrote that down. So I know there are none of you like that here. You've all tried very, very hard to get on with life and do what it is that you need to do. And I empathize with that because I have been the same my whole lifetime. I've tried to do the best that I can. And there are obviously times in all of our lives where we just can't, we cannot, we are overwhelmed. So yes, I do understand that you are often not actively making the choice to procrastinate. The thing that you actively do have to make a choice about is not to procrastinate, right? Which means that you actually have to sit there and battle with your mind and say, now, come on, stop this. Stop making all of these excuses. What can we do right now to start this task or to continue with this task or whatever stage of that task you might be on, to keep going with it until it is finished. So it seems to just happen that you do start a task and you find all the ways under the sun to stop doing it. So usually you distract yourself if you don't like the task that you are supposed to do, or you fixate on TikTok, hand up, or find something bright and shiny online while you are supposed to be doing other things that are more important. Oh, and do we all do that? We all have a task that we have to do if it's online and it's on one page, and then we take 5 minutes just to TikTok or to look for something else. And then it's time for a coffee, and then it's too late in the day, whatever it might be, and then it's over. We're done. Or we even forget what we were supposed to do. And that's a whole other thing, because if you have anything like ADHD or anything like that can stop your thought processes midway through a sentence, then this is when it becomes hard. So you can also tell yourself it's too hard because you're not in the right frame of mind, just as I mentioned. What other excuses do you use? So let me know, what excuses do you use when it comes to procrastination? And you will probably find that as some of you type this in, other people will see themselves in that. So what are we getting here?
Yes, so much squirreling and getting sidetracked. Maxine would rather be busy and keep their mind occupied.
Yep, so much squirreling, Lisa says. We do that all the time. Maxine, so much, what do we got here? Maxine. Hello, Maxine. I'd rather be busy to keep my mind occupied. Yes. I'm not confident in my knowledge of the project I want to achieve. That's what Dr. Google is for, Dot. We are, no one knows everything. And that's one of the things that we really fall apart with. We think that whoever we are delivering to knows so much more than we do. And this is why a lot of people never come online, never come into a spot like I am right now and feel that they can deliver. All you need to do is add to the conversation. Let's say that. A very, very genius person said that on her podcast quite a number of months ago. And she said, I'm never going to be the genius. I'm never going to know everything. I can't. It's impossible. But I can add to the conversation with the knowledge that I do know. And that's how you overcome that whole thing about thinking that you're never going to be good enough. Yeah. You are just adding another bit to the conversation. Does that kind of make sense to people? Isn't that a great way of thinking about it? Ashley says, I can't focus and I don't like doing things if I'm not putting in 1,000%. Ashley, you're being very, very difficult on yourself. And my question to you would be, who else asked you to put in 1,000% on the tasks that you have done in your life? Is it only you? Or have there been other people in the past that have asked you to put in 110% or 150%? Yes, Maxine. I made a beautiful diamond art painting for Anne and Renata. It took a while. Good on you, my darling. You did. We've got it right here in the background as well. There it is. That's what she did. Amelia, I'm also overconfident I can do, and failure is not an option. Sadly, learning to fail instead of learning to fly. It's not about failure, Amelia. Let's really look at that word and look at the consequences of that word. Failure is a really hard word to deal with. It's so kind of the bitter end. There's got to be a different word that you can use instead of failure, honestly. Think of a different word, Amelia, because that's just a really, really hard one. Ashley Smoker, probably just me. Oh, look, I need to have some one-on-ones with you people. I really do. I really do. Lisa, mistakes. Yes, you are human. You will make mistakes. Is there anyone in this world that has not made mistakes? No. Why should you think you're so special as to present your whole life to the rest of the world without ever making a mistake? Some people make the most ridiculous and terrible mistakes in front of thousands of people. I choose to make mistakes in front of how many people are here watching today? So you're just going to put up with the mistakes that I make, and I'm still going to keep going. And that is the only way to combat procrastination. It really is. Amelia says, I think I am in between two extremes. We all are. Does Dave say, me, Dave never makes mistakes. I make learning opportunities. That is a good way of putting it, Dave. Learning opportunities. Exactly. All right, let's go on. So what about if someone is constantly on your back to finish a task? Would you do that? So let's talk about some ways that you can be put off from doing a task. And one of them is if someone is constantly on your back about it. Does that actually make you want to do whatever it is that you need to do? My husband would call that nagging. You're continually nagging me to do that. I know I'm supposed to do that, but you're nagging me. Or I might nag Anne.
Yes.
Which makes her completely shut down and not want to do it.
Yep.
What about if you don't like the task? Would that make you not do it? Absolutely. I just don't want to do it. It sucks. I hate it. I hate the idea. Why are you making me do this? Procrastination sounds like a normal way of going, no, I don't want to do this. I'm going to put it off. What other things might you say would be great procrastination triggers? Now, Jenny mentioned trauma triggers. Jenny, can you put in an example of what a trauma trigger might be? And you don't have to get personal about it, but what would be a trauma trigger that would stop you from completing something or doing a task? Ideas that seem good, like good ideas at the time, but then as you get into them, you go, oh, that's all too convoluted and too hard. I tell you what, one of the big things that create procrastination is the fact that, number one, you just don't like what you need to do. Number two, you feel unskilled. You don't know enough. Imposter syndrome, as Anne said, imposter syndrome. Time management, think there's not enough time to finish the task, and that's because we're not setting ourselves appropriate time frames to do things. And someone mentioned right at the beginning about handing things in right at the last minute, that they actually work better when they have a time frame, as in like yesterday or tomorrow morning, and that rush of adrenaline that it takes to finish that project or whatever it is that you're doing is enough to get you started doing it and finished. So sometimes time limits are really good. It's advantageous if we set the time limits, though, rather than somebody else. Now, Cosmic Blue Avian says the intention behind any choice that we make for any action taken is crucial. If you didn't come up with the intention from love and compassion, then the action is often not taken. True, true. I think there's a portion in all of this that very much is that we have a choice in not having to do something. When we are not in that zone of the ability to actually make a choice, we just have to do it, then a lot of the things that we procrastinate about go away, because we have being told, you've just got to do this, so shut up and get it done. And we may not like it, but we do it. Okay, we face it and we do it, and often the quicker we do it, the better off we feel. We have too many choices in not needing to accept a task. We just don't do it because we don't like it or it doesn't fit what we want to do. It's not bright and shiny. It's not pleasurable, so we decide not to do it. Zena says working to a deadline sometimes helps. It actually often helps, Zena. Really, it does. And procrastination isn't something I believe that you can do or deal with gently. Sometimes you actually need to be quite forceful about it. Think of it as telling your child to clean up their room. And all the things that are going through your mind would be going through their mind. I don't want to clean up my room. I'm quite happy the way it is. I don't want to clean up my room because that's boring and dull and I don't want to do it. Why should I clean up my room if it's going to be messy in another day or two? Or what else could they say? 1,000 different things. And you, under the collar, are just getting hotter and hotter and hotter because all you have asked them to do is something very simple. Clean up your room. But here is where procrastination starts. It actually starts as a challenge to making the right choice. Very, very simple. So we've got to learn to make the right choices when it comes to improving our life. We've got to work on being able to find the good reasoning to continue with doing the task, fulfilling the task, finishing the task, rather than finding the blocks for not doing that task. Deborah Ann, let's see what you say. I have become lazy since the COVID lockdowns in Melbourne. I was never like this. I'll go to work and when the weekend comes, I just want to rest. And yeah, we are still suffering from COVID. We are still in a mental haze, as in how did our lives change the way they did? What a shock that was to all of us. And how do we get back to our normal lives again? Well, I've got something to say to you. We're not ever going to get back to our normal lives because the world around us has changed through the circumstances we've just been in. So we've got to learn what our new normal level is and start from there. That's the easiest thing to tell yourself and for your brain to understand. There is no the way it was. There is now it's a new platform, a new elevation, and we've got to go from that point. We really do. And Cosmic Blue Avian, there is a difference between being the flow of something and begrudgingly doing something you are not being served by. Absolutely. But sometimes you have to make a compromise. And wouldn't it be a lovely world if we just did what we wanted to do all the time? And everything that was bright and shiny, that's where we went and that's what we spent time on. And everything that was like dull and horrible and yuck, we just went, oh no, or I'll pay somebody else to do it. Hopefully, maybe we will get to that day where we can pay somebody else to do all the things that we don't want to do. But until then, we still have to do the dishes in the sink. We still have to do the washing up. We still have to follow the rules and regulations that our bosses set down, if we can follow them. If we can't, then it's time to find another job. And, sometimes you just have to play that fine line where you go, okay, I may not like this, but I need to do this because I know it will be for my better good. Oops. So why do some people procrastinate? We'll go over some of the things that you have already said. Lack of motivation, fear of failure, perfectionism, task difficulty, time management, lack of discipline, task boredom, decisional procrastination. Can't make my mind up. Overwhelm, no accountability, That's a great one. Crisis motivation, low energy levels, and distraction. That about sums it all up. Can you recognize yourself in any of those? I'm sure you can. So procrastination is a common behavior that many people experience at some point in their lives. It involves delaying or postponing tasks, even when you know they are important and have deadlines. There are several reasons why people procrastinate, but we will look at 13 reasons why. They're all listed there. Lack of motivation. When a task doesn't seem interesting or rewarding, people often put it off. Motivation plays a significant role in task initiation and completion. If you don't see the value or don't have a clear goal, procrastination can set in. And I think Cosmic Blue Avian, you were right on the ball there, right on the dot with that. Now, fear of failure. We've mentioned that too. The fear of not doing a task perfectly or the fear of failing can be a powerful driver of procrastination. So people may delay starting a task because they are afraid they won't meet their own or others' expectations. And you've got to really work out whose expectation you are failing to meet. Is it somebody else's or your own? And you will find 9 times out of 10, it's your own expectations that you feel you're going to fail to meet. Because sometimes other people really don't give a shit about the way you do things, just as long as it's done. Now, perfectionism. Perfectionists tend to procrastinate because they set extremely high standards for themselves. They may avoid starting a task if they believe they can't complete it flawlessly. And I go back to the person who said you've got to give 1,000%. Task difficulty. Complex or overwhelming tasks can lead to procrastination. When a task seems too challenging or when you don't know how to begin, it's easy to postpone. So at that point in time, we might need to ask for some help. But we'll get on to reasons of how we can stop ourselves from doing this shortly. Time management, Dave. Poor time management skills can contribute to procrastination. If you struggle to plan or allocate your time effectively, you may end up putting things off until the last minute. That's because it's probably not the only thing you've put off. You've put off a whole multitude of things, so now you are overwhelmed. Or something else you've put off now gets triggered and you go, oh, damn, I forgot to do that too. Or I procrastinated with that. I better do that before I do this. Lack of self-discipline. Procrastination often results from a lack of self-discipline. It's easier to indulge in short-term gratification, like watching TV or browsing the internet, rather than working on a long-term project. So if we have long-term projects that we need to get involved in and keep doing, there's some point in time where you, probably halfway through, you go, oh, damn, what have I gotten myself into? Oh, often, when you're going to uni or when you're doing education and there is, again, something that you have to hand in and you get bogged down with information, overwhelm again, and that's when the procrastination starts. Now, task boredom. Mundane or repetitive tasks can be uninteresting, leading to procrastination. When there's no excitement or variety, it's tempting to delay these activities. Oh, I am ticking off so many boxes here. Decision or procrastination. Sometimes people procrastinate making decisions, especially if the choice is difficult or has consequences. The fear of making a wrong decision can lead to procrastination in these cases. What are you laughing at, Anne?
Because that's just us.
Yes.
Too many choices.
Too many choices. Oh, and we just add to those choices because that's who we are. That's the glorious people we are. We just keep adding stuff. More and more. Overwhelm. Oh, that's when we've added way too much. And we go, what have I done? When you have a long to-do list or multiple tasks competing for your attention, you may become overwhelmed. Let's just say we always become overwhelmed, not knowing where to start, of course. This can result in procrastination as you avoid tackling any of them. It's all too much. I'm going to throw it all away, stand up, have a tizzy fit, go off, have a cup of coffee or a drink or a smoke or whatever it is. And we just chuck a wobbly. That we end.
Well, you do.
Lack of accountability. I've spat the dummy many times. The dummy. If you're solely responsible for a task, it's easier to put it off. When others depend on you, you may be more motivated to complete the task or have a task buddy. Have an accountability buddy. This is one of the most brilliant things I learned over the years when doing all of this sort of stuff, working with people's attitudes to doing things or getting things done. Having an accountability buddy and checking in on that person to make sure that they have done things is really, really important. And so refreshing and good if you both have a good rapport. And even if you are doing things in groups, you can find yourself an accountability buddy and say, look, I really need you to help me stay on track, and I will do that for you, vice versa. A really, really great thing. Anne and I both have working days together, and so we can sit together and work on separate things, but we're in the same space and making sure we're not drifting off to watch TikTok or whatever it is. And we just sit and we do. So finding an accountability buddy is great stuff. Now, crisis motivation. Some individuals thrive under pressure and believe that they work best when they're close to the deadline. This can lead to procrastination because they wait until the last minute to complete tasks. The worst thing in the world is to realize that the task that you were meant to deliver tomorrow morning was supposed to be delivered a week ago. And that you have misjudged time, which goes back to time management. That's when you can get into sticky issues. I also had friends at school who, once given a task, tried to do that within the first 24 hours because it was then out of their hair and they didn't have to think about it. It was already done. Maybe you knew someone like that, or maybe you're living with someone like that who just frantically fixates on getting that task done no matter what, and then kind of goes, it's out of my head. So low energy levels. Oh, we all have these. So feeling tired or fatigue can be a significant factor in procrastination. Low energy levels make it challenging to find the motivation to start and complete tasks. Absolutely. We all need to get a decent sleep every so often and make sure we're eating the right foods so that our body and our mind has enough energy to work well. Distractions. Modern technology and constant connectivity can provide endless distractions. You may find that social media, online entertainment, and smartphone notifications can divert your attention. So if you really want to get things done, putting your phone on silent for an hour or 20 minutes, whatever time you are giving yourself is a really, really good idea. Now, wait, there's more. There's personality traits that go on top of all of this. So fear of success as well, fear of being judged, not liking what you are doing, self-punishment, or to annoy someone else, and mental health reasons. So we've touched on a few of these. Some people have quite a difficult time in trying to actually make decisions. It's difficult for them. You need to learn a process of doing that so it's easier for you. People who have ADHD, any sort of attention deficit issues, will have difficulty with procrastination. And again, you have to learn a process that is going to help you through. It's no good just sitting there going, I just can't, I don't know how to do it. You have to get into a set of ways of managing, steps of managing, and you have to follow those steps through every single time in the same way so that it becomes a patterning that your brain can follow on automatic over time. And if you have to have like a piece of paper on your wall that says step 1, step 2, step 3, until you get the hang of it, that's how you do it. That's how you process. So if you have any issues that are on the mental health side of things or related to energy side of things, that's an added difficulty to just the standard of going, I don't like doing this, or I'm just a procrastinator. And that's a great way of giving yourself a label that you can sit under. It's like this protective umbrella that you can say, well, I'm a procrastinator. Don't expect me to be on time with anything because that's just how I am. And guess what? That's just how you're going to be. You're going to continue to be that because you've already labeled yourself as being someone like that.
I have a question for you. How do introverts become more extroverted? That's my challenge.
That's another workshop. Cosmic Blue Avian, that's another workshop. And hey, you're looking at one right now. Do you think this is easy for me? This is the most horrendous thing that I can be doing right now.
I love it.
She's watching me in pain. She loves it. I hate it. I hate being in front of the camera. I hate being in front of the camera. I hate doing these things. And sometimes you've just got to say, and look, I have to sit there and I have to go through all of these levels that would make me normally procrastinate and go, I just can't and I won't. And I have to work through them all. So I have to manage my time and give myself a time space to have all of these slides done. I have to do my research. I have to then get here because I can't do it on my own because I never would. And I have to have Anne sitting there and going, I'm going to be here. I'm going to manage you. And if that's what you have to do to begin with, then just do it. Do it and accept it. Accept that that's the way it's going to be for now, just for now. I haven't done a live for a really long time. I haven't done a workshop for quite some time. If I was doing workshops on a weekly basis, then I wouldn't have this issue. But because it's been quite some time, for me, it's a fear of presentation thing. And all of those things that went on that list of procrastination, like each and every one of you, exactly the same. So, see, Dave says doing fantastic and we love you the way you're doing it. Exactly, that is exactly the same way that other people would come to you if you were doing something like this, or if you were trying your best, or if you were handing in something and, you know, just finishing a task. Number one, you're going to feel fabulous that you actually finished it. And number two, you've just got to get over what you think people think about you, because what you think people think about you is always worse than what they really think about you. Honestly, believe me. You have thought all of the shit scenarios that you can about yourself, or how this task is going to finish, or what you're going to end up thinking about yourself. I can guarantee you that most of the people or the person that is going to be taking that task from you, or what you're trying to achieve or do and handing it over, they're not even concerned. They're not even concerned. Cosmic Blue, I'll employ the husband and help with being more open and less private. Hey, yeah. And look, I'm going to have more workshops next year for you all. You must be on the Magical Manifestors group. You must join the Magical Manifestors group, because that's where the free workshops are going to be next year.
Not free.
Well, you're paying a membership. We'll get to that. I'm going to get to that. Another thing I really hate, sales, selling. But I'm going to sell to you all at the end of this. Right. Hello, Esther. Where was I? Here. All right. Yes, no, or maybe. Understanding and overcoming procrastination. Let me read this to you. Many people are absolutely paralyzed by anxiety when triggered by things that for either a known or unknown reason seem to be undoable. And some of you did mention anxiety as a trigger. It's too hard, too agonizing, whatever decision needs to be made or new behavior they desire, they cannot seem to move off square one. It is this frozen moment of going, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't. Shame increases exponentially every time you freeze. Procrastination can happen for lots of reasons. Is it avoidance, as in post-traumatic stress disorder? Is it attention deficit disorder? Definite disorder? Is it the consequence of helicopter or abusive parenting? Oh, let's not get started. Is it perfectionism, worry, self-doubt, and anxiety? So it's important to recognize the underneath, what is underneath procrastination? Which of these four could be fueling it? Is it any of those four for any of you, or a combination? Avoidance, post-traumatic stress disorder, attention deficit disorder, consequence of bad parenting, or perfectionism, worry, self-doubt, or anxiety. And here's something for all of you. I put the pro in procrastinate.
I don't know this woman.
Too much. Now, let me get to something that you kind of sometimes don't consider when it comes to procrastination. What are the outcomes of the procrastination that you do? Problems that you create. All right. Constant procrastination can lead to a range of problems that can affect various aspects of your life, and they include work and relationships and overall well-being. So one of the things is increased stress, and I'm going to put this on here. No, I'm not. I'm going to go back. Sorry. Increased stress. Procrastination often leads to last-minute rushes to complete tasks or meet deadlines. This can result in elevated stress levels as you try to cram a significant amount of work into a short period of time. Reduced productivity. When you delay tasks, you waste valuable time and energy that could be better spent on more productive activities or doing things that you like. This can lead to a decrease in overall productivity and efficiency. Missed deadlines. Procrastination can result in missed deadlines, which can have serious consequences in both personal and professional settings. So too many missed deadlines at work will mean you may not have work. So missing deadlines can also damage your reputation. One of the reasons why I wanted to show up tonight, even though I'm not at 100%, still wanted to be here. It can cost you opportunities or lead to academic or job-related penalties. Now, impaired quality of work. Rushing to complete tasks at the last minute often results in less quality in your work. Your inability to invest sufficient time and effort can lead to errors, spelling errors, omissions, and unsatisfactory outcomes. Now, let's look at negative impacts on relationships. Constantly postponing commitments and obligations can strain your relationships with family, friends, and colleagues. I'll do it later. Or as my husband says, you're whinging. I know I've got to do that. I understand. Stop whinging at me. People may view you as unreliable or untrustworthy, leading to interpersonal conflicts. Now, this is one interesting reason that there is, and if you think of my situation right now tonight, that's one of the things that I would have thought about. It's going to make me look really untrustworthy and really unprofessional if I don't show up tonight. Yeah. Now, lower self-esteem, it can create lower self-esteem, erode your self-confidence. You may start to doubt your abilities and worth, especially if you repeatedly fail to meet your own expectations. Now, there could also be regret and guilt. Procrastination often leads to feelings of regret and guilt. You might beat yourself up for not taking action earlier, which can further contribute to negative emotions, especially if you continually weigh up the right or wrong of something if it is an opportunity, a golden opportunity. And then someone else grabs that opportunity because they don't care. They'll slide through it. And you've gone, damn, there I am, back there again. Yeah, in line. Do we want to be at the back of the line or do we want to be at the front of the line? You've got to ask yourself that question. There are financial consequences. So in a professional context, procrastination can lead to a missed career opportunity or promotions. It can also result in financial setbacks such as late bill payments, fines, and lost income. There are health issues. Stress and anxiety associated with procrastination can take a toll on your physical and mental health. I've been there. I have absolutely been there, where the whole procrastination and being bound up in a ball so tightly of stress or anxiety has made me really consider, where am I going and what the hell am I doing to my body? Chronic stress is linked to various health problems, including sleep disturbances, heart issues, and weakened immune function. Wasted time. Procrastination leads to a significant amount of wasted time. The time spent on avoiding tasks or engaging in unproductive activities can never be reclaimed. You cannot get that wasted time back, people. You cannot get that time back that you've spent hours and hours of agonizing over something. You can't. You're actually better off sitting down and just doing it. Narrowed options. By delaying decisions or actions, you may limit your options and opportunities. Procrastination can prevent you from pursuing new paths or exploring different avenues in your personal or professional life. And decline of well-being. Overall, constant procrastination can lead to a decline in your overall well-being. The persistent stress, missed opportunities, unresolved tasks can negatively impact your happiness and life satisfaction. Loss of control. Procrastination can make you feel as though you have lost control over your life. You may become a passive observer of your circumstances rather than an active participant. And this, my dear friends, is when we really, really lose control, because guess what? You will always find people around you that can use that point in your life to really screw things up. They can see that as a weakness. They can smell it like a dog with a bone and go, oh, I'm going to head for that. I'm going to really make a shitstorm out of that one. So remember, don't be a passive observer of your circumstances, be an active participant. And Ed and I actually talked about that this afternoon.
We did?
Yeah, what can we control? What can we control in the things that are coming up for us?
Yeah.
That's what we've got to look at. And that's what you have to look at.
We can't control other people.
Can't control other people. And you can't control everything, but you can control some of it. What can you control and what can you do? Now, also perpetuating the cycle. Chronic procrastination can create a self-perpetuating cycle. The more you procrastinate, the more you reinforce the habit. Stop it. There we go. Procrastinate, feel guilty, panic, make excuses, and procrastinate. And anywhere you go, whether you start with panic, make excuses, procrastinate, feel guilty, that cycle is a cycle. So preventing the cycle of procrastination from continuing requires a combination of self-awareness, effective strategies, and consistent effort. No one said this was going to be easy. And I will never tell you it's going to be easy, because I know it's not. So there is no other way. You cannot just wish this to go away. Sorry, people. You can't. But again, the first way to tackle anything is to accept that it is a problem for you. So here are some steps to help you break the cycle of procrastination. Are we ready? We're not going to like it.
5 minutes.
We're not going to, oh, really? Maybe, is this just set for an hour? Or is it going to go a little bit over?
It's not set for anything.
Okay, I've got a couple more slides. Don't Don't panic, people. Don't panic. Self-reflection and awareness. Start by reflecting on the reasons behind your procrastination. What in the hell is triggering you? Is it lack of motivation, fear of failure, or something else? Understanding the underlying causes is crucial for change. And if you need help with that, get in contact with me and let's have a session. If you don't know why, or if it's the same thing and you want to know exactly how to get over that, contact me. Let's have a session. Set clear goals. Define clear and achievable goals. Are you standing up for a reason?
Yes. I'm going to go to the toilet.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay? I've also put your email up there so people can contact you.
Oh, thank you. She's stressing me out. Define clear and achievable goals. Knowing what you want to accomplish helps you stay focused and motivated. Break larger goals into smaller ones and manageable tasks. So that's a really, really good idea. If you've got something to do, what is the goal? What's the goal? If it's as simple as washing the dishes, how do I get myself to wash the dishes? Well, it means the sink will be free and I will have dishes to be able to use. It won't look like an eyesore anymore. I hate my sink being filled with dishes. However silly that focused, accomplished thing is going to be, I don't care if it makes you get out of procrastination, just do it. Prioritize tasks. Create a to-do list and prioritize tasks based on their importance and deadlines. Tackling high priority tasks first can help you gain momentum and reduce the urge to procrastinate. Also, the reverse is true. Tackling the small tasks first, even if it's one or two, gets you over that hump of not being able to do anything, and then you go for a bigger task. So maybe settle for the little ones first that can be done in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, then go for the larger task. Don't just sit there and go, well, I can't do anything. You can. Use time management techniques, explore time management, working on focused intervals with short breaks. This is awesome. We all have Google on our phones. Tell Google to set an alarm for 20 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it is. Get in and start the task. Then you have a time limit. If it's 10 minutes and that alarm rings, you go, oh, I've done 10 minutes, awesome. But you've already cracked into the task that you need to do. So again, break it down to things that are simple for you, but will still encourage you to do them. Yeah. I did that with my husband this morning. 20 minutes, we had an alarm. He thought the world had been set on fire. I said, set an alarm for 20 minutes, and this is what we're doing. And I said to Anne, he vacuumed the floor, I did the dishes. So we did it.
And I was gobsmacked.
That's right. Setting times is such a good thing. It really is, even if it's 5 minutes, honestly.
Set a timer.
Set a timer. Eliminate distractions. Identify and minimize common distractions in your environment. This may include turning off social media, setting specific times for checking emails, and finding a quiet workplace where you will not be distracted. Set specific deadlines. If a task doesn't have a clear deadline, create one for yourself. Create one for yourself. Self-imposed deadlines can instill a sense of urgency and reduce procrastination. Oh, we have these wonderful little devices that are called sticky. What are they called?
The things I have all over the place.
Yeah, these things.
They're everywhere.
Sticky notes. Use them.
There's even an app called Sticky Notes.
Sticky notes. Put them up everywhere. Give yourself times and things that need to be done and deadlines when they need to be done. All over the kitchen, all over the back of the toilet door, all over everywhere. The joy of taking one of those sticky notes off and ripping it up and going, done that. Oh, it's amazing. Small things, people, small things. Use positive self-talk. Replace negative self-talk with positive, encouraging messages. Instead of saying, I can't do this, tell yourself, I can do this and I'll start the bloody thing right now. Bugger you all. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes or experience setbacks. Really important for you to do. Self-compassion can help you bounce back from procrastination with a positive attitude. Break tasks down into simple steps. Yep. When the task is too big, break it down into manageable things. What can you do today? What can you do tomorrow? What can be done this week? And so on and so forth. Make it less overwhelming. But you have to make these little steps for yourself, as I mentioned before. How can you do it so you don't become overwhelmed? And when you feel you're becoming overwhelmed, it means that you're allowing your brain to think of too many things at once. Tell your brain to shut up and go back to your step-by-step formula. Accountability. Share your goals and progress with a friend, family member, co-worker, or friend that will tell you to get off your backside and just get that thing done, because you're smarter than all of that and you can do this. Reward yourself at the end too. Do something for yourself that you can pat yourself on the back and say, I did that. Be proud of what you have done. And look, don't worry about other people being proud of you. Sometimes your family will never be proud of anything that you do, no matter how hard you try. So stop it. The only person that needs to be proud is yourself in what you do. Visualizing success is also helpful when you can have a mental image of what it's going to be like once that task is done. Also create a routine, a daily or a weekly routine. Where
you love routines, don't you?
I hate routines.
I find that funny coming out of your mouth.
Shut up. It works for some people. It's not going to work for everyone. It will work for some people. I work off the cuff. I kind of just grab. It's like sending someone into a candy shop that's 5 years old and you're just grabbing at things and going, I'll take that. I'll take that and I'll take that. That might work for you as well. Shut up, Ed. Limit perfectionism. Okay, recognize perfectionism is not often unattainable. It's probably never obtainable, actually. And stop striving for it, for God's sake. Aim for excellence, or aim for good enough sometimes. That's good enough. Yeah, sometimes that's all you can aim for. This is good enough. I'm going to hand it in and get over yourself. Because honestly, like I said, your perfect is someone's freaking amazing. Yeah, it's good enough is someone's, oh my God, that's what you did? How amazing is that? Yeah, so stop it. And use procrastination as a signal. View it as a signal that something might be wrong with the task or your approach or your motivation. Use it as an opportunity to reassess and make adjustments and seek support. If procrastination is significantly impacting your life, consider some counseling, some therapy, some mentorship, so that we can get a deeper hook in on why you do the things that you do. And remember, celebrate every single time you get through something. Celebrate it. So that is really what I just mentioned before, all the things that will impinge on your life if you don't stop procrastinating. And what can you do? We've kind of been through some of that, yeah. All of the things that we talked about. So self-reflection and awareness, clear goals, defining your goals, prioritizing tasks, using time management, stop squirreling, distractions, and set specific deadlines. Use sticky notes, use positive self-talk, be compassionate to yourself. Every other bugger will be horrible and rude to you. Do you really need to do that to yourself too? Honestly, stop. Break things down into smaller steps. Accountability. Okay, ask someone else to be your accountability partner and reward yourself. And what would success look like for you, even in the smallest tasks? It's got to be routine. It's got to be something that you think for the small things, and they will translate into bigger things.
Yeah, it's got to be routine.
Limit perfectionism. just throw it out the door. Just get rid of perfectionism. Don't want to deal with that. That's just shit. It's a shit sandwich. Don't. And use procrastination as a signal. If you're starting to procrastinate, ask yourself why. What don't you like about this task? Yeah, and how would it feel like not to procrastinate? Oh, there would be lack of regret. So one primary reason why we all hate procrastination is that really bad feeling we get after we realize we've wasted so much time. Our minds are telling us, well, those YouTube videos were pretty entertaining, but I don't really feel that much happier than I was 3 hours ago. You idiot. Now you've only wasted 5 hours instead of 3. Stop it. Not procrastinating gives you the opposite kinds of feelings. You realize you've accomplished so much in the day. You feel empowered. Your self-esteem goes up. You start to feel good about yourself. You might be unable to relate as well to others who procrastinate. It's like giving up smoking. You know, when you start to do tasks, you kind of really think, well, how can somebody else not do that? Go back to the time when you were still procrastinating. You know, we're all on some level of that journey. But you will have peace of mind. You will feel stronger and feel as though you are on purpose. You will be feeling healthier and in charge of your life, and that's where we all want to be. And yeah, it will make you feel strong and competent. Now, I'm going to go back here, and in just a few minutes that we have left, do we have any questions? Can you get me out of that, Miss Anne?
Okay, give me the mouse. What are you after now?
Just my big face on that big screen.
Oh, you want all of you now? And I'll take me out as well.
Okay, anyone with some last minute questions, please pop them up now. We'll see what we can do. Yes, Dave, sometimes your aim was I had a crack. Absolutely. We say that all the time. Let's give it a crack. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. What could go wrong? 1,000 things? Or maybe nothing. Maybe you'll just have a huge laugh. It'll be fabulous. And you'll go, what was I worried about? 3/4 of the anxiety and stress we create for ourselves comes from us. It doesn't come from the external world. It comes from us overthinking and becoming overwhelmed. So consider that as well. You're making up a whole lot of shit that's not existent. Oh, we've all gone silent. There are no questions.
We're all pondering.
Well, as you're doing that, I want to remind you that I do run a private group on a private page called Magical Manifestors. It's been going for over 6 months now, and I actually put up coaching every single day. I coach you through some of the most relevant issues that affect us all when it comes to why we do things or why we don't do things. I give you things to think about. I give you some tasks to do as well. On the 1st of December, I'm going to run a 7-day procrastination challenge. And that doesn't mean it's 7 days of procrastination.
Speak for yourself.
It's 7 days on how to conquer procrastination. So if you want to be part of that challenge, you're going to have to go over to Buy Me a Coffee, and that link is going to come up on the page shortly, and you will find the membership. Now, the membership for the Magical Manifestors is a stupid $11 a month. It's stupid. It's a stupid $11 a month. And you get me coming on every single day, giving you something really important to think about so that you can make your life as best as it can be, things to consider about yourself, things to work on. And over the 7-day procrastination challenge, I will be going through some of these things, but also you're going to be set challenges that I do not want you to procrastinate on. You will work through them over 7 days and get things done. So join me there. It's as simple as going to buy me a coffee, buying a membership, $11. $11 is the monthly fee. Again, stupidly $11.
Make sure you go to the tarot one. What's it called, Renata?
Tarot Queen. Was Tarot Queen V.
V for Victor.
Yep. So you will find it on buymeacoffee.com/Tarot Queen V. There will be the membership that you pay for. Then you will find a link on that page that will take you to the special page where I can actually let you into the group. I hope that you all come on. If you're not there yet, I hope you will all come on and become a member. And if you are watching this on a replay, I hope you all come in and become members of that magical community where I am trying desperately to change your lives by making you take 5 minutes out of your day to think about where you are and where you want to be. It's made you think more inward and how you affect others. Yes, Dave. All right. I think we've done an hour. So I'm going to thank you all for being here. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you, Kim, for being here. And yeah, get in touch soon. Become a magical manifester with me. And I'll see you all soon. I won't see you before Christmas because I just can't do that to you and make you do another workshop before Christmas. But
unless you're on the Magical Manifestors page.
On the Magical Manifestors page, I will be there, and we have a 7-day challenge, December the 1st. And we've got our own challenge December the 1st, honestly. We've got challenges coming out of our buttholes on December the 1st.
And a big thank you to Anne for running the StreamYard for you.
Oh, I was going to get to that. Anne, thank you so much for being here and making me sit on this hot seat and do this. You didn't make me, but I wouldn't have done it if you weren't here. I would have procrastinated. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Have a great week. Mwah. Thank you. Bye. Okay, how do I get out of here now?
Press the big red button that says end.
Oh, yeah, that one.
That one.
Bye.
And I'll say, you sure you want to end? And you go, yeah.